There's a truth that modern society has buried beneath layers of digital anxiety and mental noise, a wisdom that Lao Tzu understood over 2,000 years ago, and that today can revolutionize not only how you sleep, but how you awaken to life. Tonight, as you drift off to sleep, your mind passes through portals that connect you directly to the Tao, the invisible force that governs all existence. But there's a problem. You've been conditioned to treat your dreams as mere mental garbage, when in fact they are coded messages from the universe trying to teach you humanity's most forgotten art. Wu Wei, effortless action. Welcome to Axiom Sage, where the ancient wisdom of the East meets the modern mind's thirst for transformation. I am your guide on this journey through the mysteries that connect sleep and spiritual awakening. Today, we will unveil why your dreams hold the key to Daoist enlightenment. They don't want you to know. What you're about to discover goes against everything you've been taught about dreams, sleep, and spiritual growth. Because while the Western world has turned dreams into nighttime entertainment, or, at best, therapeutic fodder, the Taoist masters knew something that would change your life if you truly understood it. Your dreams are not random byproducts of a tired mind. They are the laboratory where the Tao tests your ability to flow with the uncontrollable, where your soul learns Wu Wei without the interference of the awakened ego. But prepare yourself, because this journey will require you to abandon the compulsive need to decode and use your dreams, and instead, learn the paradoxical art of being transformed by them. Over the next 60 minutes, you will understand why your recurring nightmares are actually invitations from the Tao to integrate what you reject into your conscious life, how the quality of your dreams reveals whether you are living in alignment with or resisting the natural flow of existence, and most importantly, how to develop what the masters called effortless dreaming, a practice that can revolutionize not only your nights, but completely transform your relationship with anxiety, control, and the desperate search for purpose that characterizes modern life. How many times have you woken with that familiar feeling of carrying the weight of dreams that seem more real than your waking life? How many late nights have you found yourself navigating the darkness of your room, with fragments of dream images echoing in your mind like echoes from a world you can neither reach nor forget? If you're like most of the people who have reached this video, you've probably experienced that silent anguish of feeling like your dreams are trying to tell you something important, but you can't decipher their language. Modern anxiety has turned our dreams into battlefields where we replay the same fears that haunt us during the day. The fear of not being enough, of losing control, of not finding purpose, of wasting our lives in relationships that drain our energy and jobs that suffocate our soul. You wake up tired even after 8 hours of sleep because your mind never truly rests. It merely transfers the arena of battle from conscious life to the dream theater of unconsciousness. But there's something you need to know, something that could change everything. The ancient Taoist masters didn't see dreams as problems to solve or entertainment to enjoy. They understood them as mirrors of the unlived Tao, reflections of what we resist accepting, integrating, or flowing with on our conscious journey. When Lao Tzu spoke of Wu Wei, effortless action, he wasn't just referring to the actions we take while awake. He spoke of a state of being that transcends the artificial division between sleep and wakefulness, between consciousness and unconsciousness, between control and surrender. Here's the truth few have grasped. Your most disturbing dreams, the ones that wake you with a racing heart and an inexplicable sense of urgency or sadness, are not punishments from a fragmented mind. They are compassionate invitations from the universe to stop resisting aspects of your nature that you've deemed unacceptable. They call you to practice Wu Wei, effortless flow, first in the safe realm of dreams, before bringing that wisdom to bear on the complex challenges of waking life. And there's a story I saved to share with you later in this video. A tale of how an ordinary person discovered that her recurring nightmares about drowning were actually the Tao teaching her to stop fighting the tide of inevitable change in her life, and how this realization not only transformed her dreams but completely revolutionized her relationship with anxiety, relationships, and life purpose. But before we get there, you need to understand why almost everything you were taught about dreams was wrong from the start. The first and most devastating lie modern culture has sold us about dreams is that they must make sense to have value. We live obsessed with the need to transform every dream image into decodable symbols. every nocturnal narrative into a clear and applicable message, every surreal experience into a practical lesson for our waking lives. This compulsion for intellectual control is the exact opposite of what Lao Tzu taught about the nature of the Tao. That which can be named and fully understood is not the true Tao. Think for a moment. How many times have you woken from a powerful dream, charged with emotion and visceral meaning, only to have it dissolve the moment you tried to capture it with words or logic? How many times have you searched for dream dictionaries, trying to fit your unique dream experiences into standardized interpretations someone invented for the masses? This approach not only kills the transformative magic of dreams, it turns them into just another task on your self-development list, another area of life where you need to perform and achieve measurable results. The Taoist masters knew something our results-driven society has completely missed. Real transformation happens in the space between understanding and mystery, between knowing and not knowing, between conscious control and surrender to the natural flow. When Zhuangzi dreamed he was a butterfly, he didn't wake up trying to interpret what this meant for his career or relationships. He surrendered to the paradox of not knowing whether he was Zhuangzi dreaming he was a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming he was Zhuangzi. And it was precisely in this surrender to uncertainty that he found one of the most profound truths about the nature of reality. But there's an even more subtle error sabotaging your dream life, and you probably haven't even noticed. Our culture has turned dreams into passive entertainment or, at best, psychological curiosity. We treat our dreams like movies we watch at night, as if we were spectators in a mental cinema where we have neither responsibility nor power of choice. This passive attitude toward dreams reflects exactly how we live our waking lives, as victims of circumstance, as people watching their lives pass by rather than consciously participating in the flow of existence. The Taoist truth is radically different. Your dreams are neither entertainment nor free therapy. They are a spiritual dojo where you practice Wu Wei, the art of responding to what arises without forcing outcomes, of flowing with change without unnecessary resistance, of maintaining presence even in the face of apparent chaos. Every nightmare is an opportunity to practice non-resistance in a safe environment. Every confusing dream is an invitation to let go of your need to control and understand everything. Every surreal image is a reminder that reality is far more fluid and mysterious than your logical mind wants to accept. Here's a simple experiment that will show you how completely you've been treating your dreams wrong. Tonight, before bed, instead of trying to program your dream or set a specific intention for what you want to dream, simply allow yourself to not know what will happen. Completely let go of the need to use your dreams to solve problems or receive guidance. Enter sleep as Lao Tzu would, with an empty mind, Su, receptive to what the universe wants to share, without any personal agenda interfering with the natural process. And when you wake up, resist the urge to immediately try to interpret or write everything down. Instead, linger for a few minutes in the sensation, in the energetic quality of the dream. Ask yourself not, what does this mean, but how did this make me feel, and what quality of energy did this bring into my consciousness? Because the true wisdom of dreams isn't in the symbols you can decode. It's in the energetic transformation that happens when you stop resisting the mystery and start dancing with it. Now that you understand why your previous approach to dreams was sabotaging your own transformation, it's time to discover what really happens when you close your eyes and your waking consciousness dissolves into the ocean of the unconscious. The ancient Taoist masters had an understanding of dreams that will completely revolutionize how you view your nighttime experiences. Your dreams are not random reflections of what happened during the day. They are precise mirrors of the Tao that you haven't yet had the courage or wisdom to consciously experience. Why do your dreams repeat the same fears? When you repeatedly dream about situations that haunt you, losing your job, being rejected, not being able to run when you need to, being late for something important, your dream mind isn't torturing you. It's revealing aspects of life's natural flow that you resist accepting during waking life. Each recurring nightmare is a compassionate invitation from the universe to practice Wu Wei in the face of what you fear most. The person who constantly dreams about losing control is being invited to discover the freedom that exists in letting go of the illusion of control. The person who dreams about rejection is learning that their true nature cannot be diminished by the opinions of others. There's a fundamental difference between people who use nightmares as opportunities for spiritual growth and those who simply suffer through them night after night. The former understood that fear in dreams is like water. The more you try to hold it back or push it away, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you relax and allow it to flow through you, you discover it didn't have the power to destroy you that you imagined. This is the essence of Wu Wei applied to dreams. Not fighting what arises, but finding the path of least resistance that honors both your nature and the nature of the experience. The fatal error of interpreting dreams literally, the most subtle trap in the dream journey, is trying to translate symbolic language into practical instructions for waking life. When you dream of flying, the question is not, how can I have more freedom in my life? But rather, what quality of consciousness exists in this dream moment of absolute freedom, and how can I cultivate that same quality regardless of external circumstances? The Tao doesn't speak through symbols for you to decode like puzzles. It speaks through symbols for you to be transformed by the very experience of being in the presence of mystery. Lao Tzu taught that the Tao that can be named is not the true Tao. Likewise, a dream that can be fully interpreted has likely lost its transformative essence. The magic of dreams lies precisely in their ability to place us in states of consciousness that transcend our usual logic, connecting us with aspects of reality that our analytical mind cannot grasp. When you force a dream to make sense, you reduce it to the size of your current understanding, missing the opportunity to be expanded by it. Taoist practice. The Notebook of Opposites. Here's an ancient technique adapted to modern life that will revolutionize your relationship with dreams. For the next 21 days, keep a special notebook by your bed dedicated not to interpreting your dreams, but to recognizing their polarities. When you wake from any dream, whether a nightmare, a neutral dream, or a pleasant dream, write down not the details of the story, but the opposing energetic qualities you experienced. For example, if you dreamed you were lost in a dark forest but found a lighted trail, write down loss/guidance, darkness/light, confusion/clarity. If you dreamed you were arguing with someone but later reconciled, write down conflict/harmony, separation/union, anger/love. The goal isn't to analyze why these polarities appeared, but simply to recognize that your unconscious is constantly working to balance opposing aspects of your experience through the language of dreams. After 3 weeks of practicing this technique, you'll begin to notice revealing patterns. Perhaps you consistently dream of chaos followed by order, indicating that the Tao is teaching you to find peace amidst turmoil. Or perhaps your dreams consistently feature moments of solitude followed by deep connection, showing that you're learning to value both nourishing isolation and authentic community. These aren't messages for you to apply in waking life. They're qualities of consciousness for you to integrate, regardless of what's happening externally. Signs you're dreaming against your nature. There is a clear energetic difference between dreams that flow with your true essence and dreams that arise from resistance to the natural path of your evolution. Recurring nightmares where you are always struggling, always trying to control impossible situations, always rushing without getting anywhere, are often signs that you are living your waking life out of alignment with Wu Wei. These dreams are not punishments. They are invitations to examine where, in your conscious life, you are forcing rather than flowing, controlling rather than trusting, fighting rather than dancing with natural changes. On the other hand, dreams where you feel curious about the unknown, where you respond to challenges with creativity rather than panic, where you flow through transformations with grace. These are signs that you are developing Wu Wei both while asleep and awake. The quality of your dreams is a spiritual thermometer that measures how aligned you are with the natural flow of existence. If this already resonates with you, if you're beginning to realize that your dreams are much more than random mental noise, then you're ready to discover something even deeper. Subscribe to the channel now, because what follows will show you how to develop a quality of consciousness that transforms not only your dreams, but your entire experience of being alive. There's a story Zhuangzi told about a man who spent his nights in tumultuous dreams, always trying to solve problems, always chasing solutions, always forcing results even in the realm of dreams. This man was so conditioned to control that even in his sleep, he couldn't truly rest. His dreams became an extension of his daytime anxiety, a second shift where his mind continued to operate in solve, conquer, control mode. One day, this man met a Taoist master and asked, "How can I make my dreams help me find the answers I need for my life?" The master smiled and responded with a question that changed everything. What if your dreams existed not to give you answers, but to teach you the quality of awareness that makes questions unnecessary? This story captures the essence of something our self-help culture has completely missed: the difference between using dreams as a tool to achieve something and allowing dreams to be a space where we practice a completely different way of being. Dream Wu Wei isn't about having lucid dreams where you control every detail of the narrative. It's about cultivating a quality of presence so relaxed that you can flow with any dream experience, pleasant or challenging, without losing your essence. But here's something I need to share with you, something that could completely revolutionize your understanding not only of dreams but of the very nature of spiritual transformation. There's a paradox at the heart of Taoist wisdom that most people never truly grasp. The more you try to use spiritual practices to improve your life, the less they work. The more you try to control your dreams to receive guidance, the less genuine guidance you receive. The more you force spiritual disciplines to become a better person, the further you move away from the naturalness that is the essence of enlightenment. Lao Tzu knew this when he wrote that the wise act effortlessly and teach without words. He wasn't just talking about external actions. He was revealing a truth about how real transformation happens. It emerges naturally when we stop forcing and start allowing, when we exchange the ego's agenda for receptivity to the mystery, when we replace the rush for results with patience with a natural process of awakening. This is exactly what happens when you develop Wu Wei toward your dreams. You stop treating them as problems to solve or tools to use, and begin to receive them as invitations to practice a quality of awareness that transforms everything, the ability to be present with what is, without needing it to be otherwise. This is the quality your dreams are trying to teach you, and it's the same quality that can revolutionize how you deal with anxiety, difficult relationships, stressful work, and the search for life purpose that characterizes the modern journey. Beware of forced spirituality. In dreams, there's a subtle trap sabotaging millions of spiritual seekers around the world, and you've probably fallen into it without even realizing it. It's the attempt to transform dreams into yet another area where you need to perform spiritually, where you need to have elevated experiences and profound insights to feel worthy of the spiritual path. How many times have you felt frustrated because your dreams weren't spiritual enough? How many times have you tried to force lucid dreams, pre-sleep visualizations, or specific techniques to upgrade your dream experience? This approach is the exact opposite of Wu Wei. When you try to control your dreams to have more evolved experiences, you are applying the same mentality of achievement and performance that characterizes the material world to the subtle realm of dreams. You transform what should be a space of surrender and receptivity into yet another ego project, another area where you need to improve to feel valuable. True Taoist wisdom teaches us something radically different. The most mundane dream experienced with full presence is more transformative than 1,000 mystical experiences filtered through the need to impress or evolve. When Lao Tzu spoke of returning to the natural state, he was pointing to a simplicity that transcends the artificial complexity we create by trying to improve our spiritual experience. The Taoist master's secret to dreaming, ancient practitioners developed a technique called fengxin, literally, releasing the heart, which they applied before sleep. But this wasn't a technique in the modern sense of the word, not a set of steps to achieve specific results. It was more like a gesture of surrender, a way to release all agendas and expectations before falling asleep. The practice was elegant in its simplicity. Before bed, they spent a few minutes simply acknowledging everything that had happened during the day without trying to resolve, judge, or improve anything. They allowed each experience, pleasant or challenging, to exist exactly as it was, without adding narratives about what should have been different. Then, they let go of even this process of acknowledgement, surrendering to sleep with an empty mind, Sue, and an open heart. What happened from this state of surrender was extraordinary. Their dreams naturally became a space of integration and wisdom, not because they forced it, but because they created the conditions for the natural intelligence of the Tao to operate freely through dream consciousness. They discovered that when you stop trying to use your dreams, they begin to use you as a vehicle for something much greater and wiser than your personal agenda. Invisible error. Treating dreams as entertainment, there's a more subtle error that's killing the transformative wisdom of dreams in modern culture. The tendency to treat them as passive entertainment or, at best, as an interesting psychological curiosity. You wake up, maybe tell someone about the dream if it was particularly vivid or strange, maybe think about it for a few minutes while drinking coffee, and then go on with your life as if nothing significant happened. This disconnect between dream life and waking life is a symptom of something much deeper, the fragmentation of consciousness that characterizes modern existence. We live as if we were different people during the day and during the night, as if our dream experiences were separate events unrelated to our growth, relationships, life purpose, or spiritual journey. Taoist masters understood that this separation is artificial and limiting. For them, sleep and waking were complementary aspects of a single stream of consciousness, just as inhaling and exhaling are complementary aspects of a single breath. The wisdom that emerged from dreams was not something to be applied to waking life. It was something to be integrated into the total quality of consciousness you bring to each moment, awake or asleep. Three-breath technique. Here's a simple practice that will revolutionize your transition to sleep and, consequently, the transformative quality of your dreams. This technique isn't about controlling what you dream. It's about cultivating the quality of awareness that allows the Tao to naturally manifest through your dream experience. When you lie down and are ready to sleep, take 3 deep breaths with a specific intention for each one. On the first breath, release all the effort of the day. Allow any tension, any agenda, any need to resolve or control something to simply dissolve on the exhalation. On the second breath, release all expectations about the night ahead. Don't try to predict or program what kind of dreams you should have, what insights you should receive, what transformation should occur. On the third breath, release even the effort to let go. Enter sleep without any agenda, like a leaf that naturally falls from the tree when its time has come. This technique is powerful precisely because it doesn't try to add anything to your experience. It removes the obstacles that impede the natural flow of dream wisdom. When you practice this consistently, you'll begin to notice the quality of your dreams change in subtle but profound ways. They become less anxious, more fluid, and more integrated with a sense of natural purpose that transcends the apparent chaos of dream imagery. Why non-doing in dreams awakens more than 1,000 forced meditations. Modern neuroscience is discovering something that Taoists have known for millennia. When you completely relax conscious control and allow the mind to enter states of deep receptivity, as happens naturally during certain types of dreaming, neurological changes occur that are more transformative than many forced spiritual practices. During REM sleep, when we dream most vividly, the brain enters a unique state where the neural network responsible for the sense of separate self, the ego, decreases its activity, while the networks responsible for creativity, emotional integration, and what neuroscientists call the default mode network become more active and interconnected. This is precisely the state that mystics of all traditions have sought to achieve through years of meditation. An expanded consciousness where the sense of separation temporarily dissolves, allowing insights that transcend the limited perspective of the ego. Now we come to the heart of a delusion that is killing dream wisdom for millions of people. The modern obsession with transforming the poetic and symbolic language of dreams into literal instructions for practical life. This mindset not only misses the transformative essence of dreams, it reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of how true wisdom is conveyed through symbols, metaphors, and experiences that transcend linear logic. Myths about dream dictionaries that sabotage your intuition. When you pick up a dream dictionary and look for the meaning of dreaming about water, snakes, houses, or flying, You're making the same mistake as someone trying to understand poetry through a regular dictionary. You're completely missing the artistic, emotional, and transformative dimension of symbolic language. Each symbol in your dreams has a unique relationship to your personal journey, your unhealed wounds, your undeveloped potentials, and most importantly, to the aspects of the Tao that you haven't yet consciously integrated. The snake that appears in your dream doesn't mean the same thing as the snake in someone else's. For you, it might represent the awakening of Kundalini energy, ancient wisdom you're afraid to embrace, or simply the fluid quality of movement you need to develop to navigate changes in your life. For someone else, the same image might symbolize something completely different. Dream symbols are like kaleidoscopes. Each small shift in perspective reveals entirely new patterns of meaning. When you standardize symbol interpretations, you kill the personal and intimate language that is developing between you and the Tao through your dreams. It's like trying to translate a love song the universe is singing specifically for you using an automatic translator. You might capture a few words, but you completely miss the melody, rhythm, and beauty that makes the message transformative. True story: how she discovered her purpose through a meaningless dream. Let me tell you the story I promised at the beginning of this video, about how an ordinary person discovered something extraordinary when he stopped trying to understand his dreams and started living them as transformative experiences. Sarah was a 34-year-old graphic designer experiencing a profound crisis of purpose. She felt like her life was on autopilot. Her work was meaningless, her relationship had lost its passion, and her routine was draining her of vital energy. For months, she had a recurring dream that deeply frustrated her. She was constantly trying to cross a bridge over turbulent water, but every time she reached the middle, it collapsed and Sarah fell into the water. She always woke up at the moment of impact, her heart racing and a sense of failure. For weeks, Sarah tried to decode this dream. She consulted books, websites, and even a therapist. The interpretations varied: fear of change, emotional instability, a need to better build bridges in life. Nothing truly resonated with her, and the dream continued night after night, with the same frustration. Then, through a video about Wu Wei, she discovered a completely different approach. Instead of trying to interpret the dream, she decided to experiment with not resisting the experience of falling into the water. The next time the dream occurred, when the bridge began to collapse, instead of fighting the fall, she completely relaxed and allowed herself to fall. What happened transformed her completely. When she stopped fighting the fall, she discovered that the water wasn't dangerous. It was warm, nourishing, and she could breathe perfectly in it. What's more, she discovered that beneath the water lay a whole world: coral gardens, golden light, and a sense of homecoming she'd never experienced before. She woke from this dream not with fear, but with a profound sense of peace and a visceral understanding that changed everything. Sarah didn't interpret this dream. She was transformed by it. The visceral experience of stopping struggling and discovering that what she feared most was actually nourishing revolutionized not only her dreams, but her entire approach to change in her life. 3 months later, she quit her job, ended the unfulfilling relationship, and began traveling and freelancing, discovering aspects of herself that had been dormant for years. The silent factor that kills dream wisdom: haste. This is the silent killer of transformation through dreams. We live in a culture of immediate results, and we bring this same urgency to our dream lives. We want to wake up with clarity, understand immediately, and apply it immediately. This rush kills the natural process of integration that occurs when you allow wisdom to slowly mature deep within your being. Taoist masters knew that true wisdom never arrives with fanfare or sudden clarity. It emerges gradually, like dawn slowly breaking over a landscape. They developed something they called the patience of the mountains, the ability to allow insights to unfold at their own natural timing, without forcing or rushing the process. Practical exercise: the map of the 5 elements in dreams. Here's an ancient practice adapted for modern life that will revolutionize how you relate to the symbolic language of your dreams. During the next lunar month, instead of trying to interpret specific symbols, practice identifying which of the 5 elements, metal, wood, water, fire, earth, was most present in each dream. Don't overthink it. Just feel the predominant quality. Was there a sense of flow and adaptability? Water? Growth and expansion? Wood? Intensity and passion? Fire? Stability and rootedness? Earth? Clarity and precision? Metal? Some nights you may feel multiple elements, others only one will be obvious. After a month, observe the patterns. If you consistently dream of fire energy but feel stagnant in waking life, the Tao may be showing you that you need more passion and action. If your dreams are always about earth energy, but you feel scattered during the day, it may be an invitation to ground yourself more deeply in practices that cultivate stability. This is not about creating more rules or interpretations. It is about developing sensitivity to energetic qualities that transcend specific symbols and connect you directly with the natural wisdom that flows through all life. If you've made it this far and feel a new understanding emerging about your dreams and their relationship to your spiritual journey, then comment "Natural Awakening" below. This helps me know you're ready for the deeper teachings I share on this channel, because what comes next will challenge everything you think you know about the relationship between sleeping and waking consciousness. We now come to the ultimate paradox that Zhuangzi revealed in his story about dreaming he was a butterfly. The question is not whether you are a person who dreams or a dream that thinks it is a person. The question is, what quality of awareness can you cultivate that remains consistent and present whether you are dreaming or waking, asleep or awake, in control or in complete surrender to the mystery? Why most people fail to use dreams for growth. The final, and perhaps most subtle, trap is turning dreams into just another tool for self-development, another area where you need to achieve results to feel worthy of the spiritual journey. When you approach your dreams with a mindset of, "What can I get out of this?" you're completely missing the point of what they're trying to teach you. Dreams don't exist to solve your problems. They exist to dissolve your need to solve everything. They don't exist to give you answers. They exist to develop the quality of awareness that makes questions unnecessary. They don't exist to improve your life. They exist to reveal that your essential nature is already complete, already perfect, already connected to the source of all wisdom. This shift in perspective is everything. When you stop trying to extract value from your dreams and instead allow yourself to be transformed by the very experience of surrendering to the mystery, something extraordinary happens. You begin to develop what Lao Tzu called the mind like water, a consciousness that is simultaneously calm and responsive, empty and full, accepting and discerning. The paradox that will change your relationship with the unconscious. Here's the truth that took me years to truly grasp. Accepting that you don't understand your dreams can be more transformative than interpreting them perfectly. When you can rest in a place of not knowing, when you can be comfortable with ambiguity and mystery, you develop a quality of awareness that is infinitely more valuable than any specific insight or revelation. This is because Lao Tzu taught that true wisdom begins with admitting you don't know. The moment you think you have something completely figured out, you stop being receptive to the deeper layers of understanding that are always available. Your dreams are constantly teaching this lesson. Every time you think you have a dream decoded, it reveals another layer of complexity and beauty that transcends your analysis. Daoist neuroscience. What happens in the brain during dream Wu Wei? Recent neuroscience research is confirming what Taoist masters knew intuitively. When you approach experiences, including dreams, with a state of relaxed awareness rather than effortful analysis, your brain enters states that promote integration, creativity, and what scientists call insight learning. During dream Wu Wei, when you neither force nor resist what arises in your dreams, your brain shows increased connectivity between regions responsible for emotion, memory, creativity, and spiritual experience. This creates optimal conditions for the kind of wisdom that emerges not through thought, but through being, the kind of understanding that changes not just what you know, but who you are. Water ritual before sleep. Here's a practice directly inspired by Lao Tzu's teachings about flowing like water. Before bed, pour a small bowl of water and place it next to your bed. As you prepare for sleep, spend a few moments simply observing the water, how it takes the shape of whatever container it's placed in, how it reflects light, how it remains calm unless disturbed. Now, set a gentle intention to dream as water dreams, without forcing specific forms but allowing whatever forms emerge naturally, without resisting any experience but flowing with what arises, without trying to control its direction but trusting the natural flow of consciousness. This is not a visualization technique. It is a way to embody the quality of Wu Wei as you transition into sleep. Water serves as a gentle reminder that the most powerful force in nature transforms everything through gentleness, persistence, and surrender, never through force, control, or violence. Your dreams can teach this same wisdom if you approach them with the same qualities. And here we arrive at the moment Lao Tzu would call returning to the source, not because we've reached some final destination, but because we've completed a cycle of understanding that brings us back to simplicity, but a simplicity enriched by the journey through complexity. Everything we've explored during this hour together, from understanding why your dreams repeat the same fears to learning how to flow with the mystery rather than trying to solve it, points to a single revolutionary truth. Your spiritual awakening doesn't require you to become someone other than who you already are. It requires you to stop resisting who you naturally are. Paradoxical synthesis. How to stop trying to use dreams and start letting them use you. The most profound teaching of Dream Wu Wei is this: when you stop trying to extract wisdom from your dreams, they begin to pour wisdom through you. When you stop approaching them as problems to solve, they reveal themselves as portals to a way of being that transcends the need to solve anything. When you stop trying to control the content of your dreams, they teach you how to be present with what arises in your waking life with the same quality of curious, non-resistant awareness. This is the intelligent surrender Lao Tzu was pointing to. Not passive resignation, but active receptivity. Not giving up your power, but discovering that true power lies not in controlling outcomes, but in responding to life from a place of inner stillness that can dance with any external circumstance. Most people will watch this video and continue approaching their dreams as they always have, as curiosities to entertain themselves, problems to solve, or tools to use for self-development. But you, if you truly understand what we've explored together, you can become part of a small group of people who use their dream lives as a daily practice of surrendering to the mystery and allowing wisdom to flow through them rather than trying to extract it from their experiences. Practical integration. Why true dream wisdom isn't in deciphering every symbol. Remember Sarah's story about the collapsing bridge. The transformation didn't happen when she discovered what the dream meant. It happened when she stopped trying to fight the experience and allowed herself to be changed by it. This is how all genuine spiritual transformation works. Not through understanding, but through being transformed by the encounter with the mystery. Your dreams offer the same gift every night: the opportunity to practice being present with what arises without needing it to be different, without needing to fully understand it, without needing to use it to improve your life. They are teaching you that you can be whole and at peace regardless of whether your external circumstances are comfortable or challenging, familiar or strange, controllable or completely mysterious. The silent invitation. How your dreams are already trying to teach you Wu Wei right now. As you listen to these words, there's a part of you that knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's a recognition, perhaps faint but unmistakable, that your dreams have been trying to teach you something beautiful and transformative, and you've been missing it because you were looking for it in the wrong place. You were looking for it in symbols, in stories, in interpretations, when all along it was hidden in plain sight in the quality of awareness that emerges when you stop trying to control experience and simply allow yourself to be present with what unfolds. This is the Tao speaking through your dreams, not in coded messages for you to decode, but in the lived experience of learning to trust the process, to flow with change, to find peace amidst apparent chaos. Every night, you have the opportunity to practice this, to cultivate this quality of awareness that is the essence of spiritual maturity. Call to practice. The Tao that can be named is not the true Tao. Apply this ancient wisdom to your dreams starting tonight. The dream that can be fully interpreted is not your deepest dream. The mystery that can be solved is not your most transformative mystery. The wisdom that can be captured in words is not the wisdom that changes everything. Instead, allow your dreams to remain a little mysterious, a little beyond your complete understanding. Let them teach you the art of being comfortable with not knowing, the ability to find peace in the midst of confusion, the wisdom of trusting processes you can't control. If this video touched something deep within you, if you feel ready to explore this path of Dream Wu Wei, then I need you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to this channel because the journey we begin together tonight is just the beginning. There are depths of Taoist wisdom about consciousness, dreams, and spiritual awakening that we've barely touched on. Second, comment below with a word or phrase that captures how you're feeling now after this exploration. And third, most importantly, commit to approaching your dreams tonight differently than you have before. Not as problems to solve, but as invitations to practice the art of conscious surrender. The path of Tao is walked not by those who seek to control their destiny, but by those who learn to dance with whatever fate brings. Your dreams are your nightly invitation to this dance. The question is, will you accept?